Kyotsuke. Right? Onegaishimasu. Hajimemashite. Let us begin.
And we are beginning the end, Christian. We have reached the final installment of our Art and Olfaction Independent Award nominee fragrance series. And we have today a sample of Kajal IV in this kind of beautiful gold presentation. Matches the house's aesthetic, very Middle Eastern. The brand comes from the United Arab Emirates, and this perfume was created by Kevin Mathis, or Kevin Mathis, or Kevin Matthews, however he says it. Thank you very much for sharing this with the world, Kevin. So I'm going to give this to you, and I want you to have a fresh spray of this, because this fragrance is perhaps one of the best. Give it another. All right. Ooh, it is the best studies in contrasts that you could possibly have.
Oh man, I love this stuff. Sensei Grant knows I love this stuff.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. So according to the notes that are listed on the website, the top note is Divana, which is a fruit that can be a little different to work with. Cardamom, obviously that ubiquitous, manly, kind of soft, smooth note. Cassis, rum. And I get the booziness off top of this, right? But then it gets into that jasmine-y, leathery palm flower. So automatically you have Kajal IV and Kevin Mathis giving us a study in contrasts, right? How could something be both intoxicating and also very natural? And then at the bottom, we have the smell of dates, musk, wood, and vanilla. But what keeps this from going too feminine for me, and what maintains its kind of Middle Eastern intrigue, are the spices that are in there, but predominantly the leather note. It's a green leather. It's like having leather in a Middle Eastern forest, if there were such a thing.
It's so addicting, you can't put it down.
And it's very rewarding to smell. I think that's part of its charm, is every time you inhale, you're catching edges of different fragrances.
Yeah, I don't know, I really love it, like that leather stands out, but there's also, you know, that fruity note. There's definitely fruit in there, and there's something like popping, like bubbling on the top, like fizzing, like that. Just there's something intriguing about that. It's not just like that smooth leather. Well, there's that smooth leather, but then there's like the fruit, and then this like fizzing, popping, spicy note that's just like, it's super addictive.
There's something crisp in there, and I think that it says palm flower. I've never smelled the palm flower, but I imagine that it would have that kind of dryness and that kind of crinkliness that you actually...
That
palm flower.
Let me crush this in the palm and put it in the bottle. It's sick.
That's what it smells like. And then the bottom of it, which we can smell better, we do have a hour and a half dry down right here. Check that out. There is a beautiful woody note at the bottom. And the wood, it's not quite a cedary wood, it's not quite a gaiac wood. It's just really blended perfectly.
It's almost like that fizziness. This is the old one. Like that fizziness off the top died down, and that you're left with that smooth leather and maybe some spice, but it's super smooth.
Yeah.
Super intriguing.
Yeah, the rum note
Rum.
is kind of evaporated. It's very prominent here, but it's not boozy and off-putting. The opening is absolutely beautiful.
When we did our mystery box breakdown, you had chosen Kajal IV,
Mm-hmm.
which I actually preferred the 4 over the 3. But I liked them both. But this one's, I've always liked this one.
That just goes to show that your nose is more in line with the geniuses at art and olfaction than my nose is.
No comment.
He's open to judge next year.
Yeah. Sign me up. I have credentials from Okinawa.
He's legit. So in terms of wearability, let's talk about this, right? This is a kind of common story that we're experiencing on our fragrance journey. Very much Middle Eastern, appreciate the exoticism, appreciate the desert. Is there anything about this that's extra special to you that makes it worthy of the nomination?
Compared to the other stuff or just by itself?
Both. Why not?
I think this is just an addicting, likable fragrance. I think there's many layers to it. I think it's well blended, like we've talked about. Like, how is it blended? Is anything sticking out at you or? No, I think this is really well blended. You can pick out individual things, but I think each person will gravitate towards something in here that they'll like, whether it be the spice or the leather or something's intriguing, or if they like fruity notes, they'll like it, or if they like woods notes, they'll like the wood. There's a lot of stuff going on here, but it's smooth and it's blended well, and I think as far as I like leather fragrances, and I like, the smell of that sweet leather note, and I think it's a universal note that people like. So I think they won me over on it being just an enjoyable leather fragrance, and I think people can relate to that. So I think compared to some of the other ones, this is more of a, even though it's unique, it's still I wouldn't say common, but it's a universally liked type of smell, I think. You know what I mean?
I can see that, but I have another image that's popped into my mind.
Yeah, what do you
Right,
think?
so I'm smelling, this is the opening, which is beautiful. It's very green to me, right? Like, it reminds me of the opening of Tom Ford's Effing Fabulous, right? This, when it dries down, I'll put that there, has a different vibe than Tom Ford. There is musk, but it's not as musky. What I'm getting is that jasmine, but it's not just a typical feminine jasmine. This is the type of jasmine that smells like, almost like cigarette ash to me. So I'm imagining this. Imagine a kind of stylish young lady who has a leather jacket, maybe a cream-colored leather jacket, not a black leather jacket, cream-colored leather jacket, who smokes cigarettes because perhaps she's European, or perhaps she can't read the Surgeon General's warning, or perhaps she just doesn't care. And she takes that jacket off. She kind of hangs it over a chair. And the aroma that comes off of that jacket, right? The kind of feminine vanilla, maybe in her own perfume, the kind of muskiness of, the body from a jacket that's well worn, with a little bit of that cigarette smell and that leather smell. I think there's something psychological and subliminal about that there's an appealingness, like an appeal, a little sexiness to it.
Yeah.
That comes from that story, because the bottom with the date smell, it's not traditionally masculine, but I want to wear it.
It's almost like that the chick is like a punk rock, almost like I wouldn't say edgy or goth, but like they have that rough, leathery motorcycle maybe. Yeah, like you said, smoking cigarettes maybe. But it also has that, it's not just totally harsh, it has that sweet plum or that sweetness in there too. So
Yeah.
you could tell it's not all tough guy,
And I think that's why it's a really well-rounded fragrance, is because it can hit both the floral, it can hit a little bit of the feminine within a masculine context. It can give you vanilla along with the kind of booziness, along with the leatheriness, along with that kind of cigarette ashy smokiness that's there. And it makes it intriguing.
But at the same time, it does have that Middle Eastern influence where it's not, I can see this happening outside of America, the picture. Not necessarily your local coffee shop, maybe a Middle Eastern coffee shop where has that influence in there.
Yeah, perhaps a little like hookah, some dried dates on the table.
Yeah. Very cool.
I like it. I think it's a really transportative fragrance.
Yeah, it's almost like a deep dive into their culture, it seems like.
There's something at once foreign, yet very close to home.
Mm. Thank you.
Well, I think we should wish Kajal IV, and Kevin Mathis good luck. And with that, we are going to round out our series on Art and Olfaction 2024's Independent Award nominees. The award will be granted soon, and I think whoever wins it will be most deserving. So, any final thoughts?
Maybe we'll talk about the winner later on. Thank you for the love and support you've been showing us during this series, and we're making these to communicate to you guys, so thank you.
Thank you.
Let's bow out.
Bowing out of the series.
Of the series.
Beautiful.
Series, this is for you. Kyotsuke. Right? Domo arigato gozaimasu. Thank you guys. Thank you, series. We will see you soon. Good luck.
Good luck. Let us know which ones you're rooting for. Like, subscribe, and all that good stuff.
Domo arigato.